What is going on, everyone? Tim from Tearfun Orbital. So, I hope it's all right with everyone. I'm going to take a liberty today and talk about lightsaber again. It's going to be the second video of the same lightsaber that is mine. However, this lightsaber is now installed, so I want to take some time to talk about it again. And I also want to talk about a component of this lightsaber that wasn't with it when I unboxed it, right? So I did an unboxing video of this particular hilt. And I did mention that I wanted to do a second video when it was installed, right? So this is my Subversion from Ignition Saber Company that I commissioned Carl from Vaults of Valhalla to etch for me, to do a custom etch for me. I talked about this in the first video. I had seen Carl's artwork come across my desk for a long time, and I'd just been looking for a reason or an excuse to get a piece from him of my own. And I just happened to have a Subversion, come to my collection, and I, thought it was time to get something from him, right? So Blade Runner is my second favorite film franchise next to Star Wars. In fact, I think that thinking back on it, I think that I had seen Blade Runner before I had seen A New Hope. I think that I was the first. I'd seen that before A New Hope. So I've always loved Blade Runner, right? So I thought I had seen so many Star Wars themed etches come across my desk from Carl. I've seen all kinds of out of universe themed etches from him. So I thought, why not? I've never seen a Blade Runner themed etch from him. So I thought, why not do a Blade Runner themed one? And Carl did an absolutely amazing Blade Runner themed etch for me. And it's absolutely phenomenal. It's a beautiful etch all over this hilt. So I knew that I wanted a few things as far as the install was concerned, right? So if you guys know me, I'm mainly a Profi board guy. If I were to look at the metrics of my installs, it's probably 90% of my installs are Profi board installs. I think that's just by nature. People just always ask for Profi installs. It's not that I don't do Crystal Focus or any of the other boards. If people want to do a CFX install with me, I will do it. But I've just always done Profi board. However, with this particular hilt, the logistics of getting the grip off and everything is just kind of a little bit more difficult than your regular hilt. It's not as easy as unthreading the grip. So I knew that I wanted to put a CFX in this hilt because the Crystal Focus board is a little bit better with power management. In fact, it's a lot better than a Profi board. I will be the first to admit that. It's just better. It's got a better deep sleep. So I knew that I wanted to put a CFX in this hilt because I wasn't going to be taking the grip off. I knew that this was going to be sitting on a stand. It was going to be on display for a while. And I knew that I wanted to pick it up and use it without having to take the battery out and all that. So I knew I wanted a CFX in it. I knew that I wanted to put a Bluetooth in it as well. And I knew that I wanted to put something very unique and very special in the crystal chamber. So I actually started to talk to Noah Drew about doing something unique for the crystal chamber. I've seen, Noah Drew is another artist that does a lot of stuff crystal chamber wise in our community. I've seen a lot of his stuff come across my desk, but I didn't want just a marble, right? I wanted something unique, I didn't want a crystal. I didn't want a marble. I wanted something, Blade Runner-esque, right? And Noah did do something very, very unique for this crystal chamber, and I do want to talk about that, right? So anyhow, let's come up top and talk about the install a little bit. Obviously, we're not going to come into Fusion. I didn't do a chassis. The Subversion does not ship with a very, big chassis. It's just basically a board holder, right? So I'm not going to come into Fusion. I didn't do anything crazy like that. I did design a very simple Bluetooth holder, but I'll just talk about that when we come up top. I'll talk about where it is and all that. So anyhow, let's come up top. All right, so here, whoops. Oh, look what I have here. I just happen to have some other props from the film. This is my Tomonsuke blaster. This is actually, a lot of people ask about this. This is in the background of a lot of my shots. This was, Tomonsuke did a run of these a number of years ago. There are a couple of versions. These are all real parts from my Steyr Daimler gun. I don't remember the name of the gun. I should, but I don't. But these are all real parts. I love this pistol. This is Deckard's blaster. I've wanted one of these since I was a kid. I finally was able to get one last year. Love this blaster. And this is a resin prop of Kay's blaster from the most recent Blade Runner film. This is just a resin prop that I did. This one was a little bit difficult doing the carbon fiber grip on this. I really wish that somebody would do a working version of this blaster. This is not based on any real world parts. This is fully unique. So that's probably why we haven't seen a real working version of it. This gun, this was done back when, you know, prop masters designed blasters off of real world weapons, right? Just absolutely love this blaster. This is just very, very cool. I did modify this one as well, obviously, because I'm a tinkerer. The sight here does not ship with the LEDs lit, so I wired up these LEDs, and I did also modify the LEDs in the bottom here as well, right? So anyhow, I just wanted to show those two off. So let's get to the hilt, right? Here is the hilt. This thing was etched by Carl over at Vaults of Valhalla. This is an absolutely beautiful etch. There is so much. I went over this in the first video. There's just detail all over this hilt. I mean, just a beautiful, beautiful specimen of an etch. I don't think a lot of folks realize how much work goes into etching these hilts. Some of the folks like Nick over at NG Sabers, these guys put a lot of thought into doing stuff like this. You know, a lot of people think that you're just Googling images and throwing an etch design on a hilt. Guys, it is a lot of work. This is not just a Google image search, guys. This is a lot of composition. This is a lot of work. This is art, in my opinion, right? This is just absolutely beautiful. And Carl is also a Blade Runner fan himself, so I can tell that he put a lot of detail into this as a fan as well. This dove back here was done. So the shroud that ships with of Subversion carries on like all the way down like this. It's like a convex pattern. Carl went in here with a jeweler's saw and a file and did all of these cuts on this wing by hand. I'll get closer to this when we come down to the bottom camera. But this is just a lot of work, a lot of detail work. I mean, it's just absolutely phenomenal, right? I mean, I love this thing. I absolutely love it. I adore it. So, not much I wanted to do to change this other than just throw my own little personal touches on it. Like this crystal, which is not even mine. This crystal was done by Noah Drew. It's a very, very interesting helix pattern on the inside of this crystal, which we will get a look at when I fire this thing up. I wanted to try to do these steel ball tactile switches in like a red, but I wasn't able to achieve that. So I just left them regular, like bare steel, right? And then of course I do have a 909 Bluetooth module right above the speaker, right in here. Okay, I just designed a very simple chassis or holder for it, and it just sits right in here, right? And that allows me to do a few things with the Force Sync app, and I also can use the Crystal Focus or the Crystal FX application with it. Okay, so let's turn it on.
Hello there.
So there's that crystal. Really, really, really cool looking crystal. Really unique. Let me see if I can connect to this. I don't think I've ever done this on camera with the Force Sync app. Yeah, so it's, I mean, it's pretty interesting. You can change the blade color and stuff with this. You can clash with it. You can lock up. Change the volume. It's kind of handy. I think you can change the blade color with it. I think. Maybe not. You might not be able to do that with the Force Sync app, but I think you can do it with the Crystal FX app. Anyway, I can do that on another video. But I wanted to get a Bluetooth in there so I could do some fun stuff with Crystal Focus. I need to really touch up more on CFX. I just do not do enough CFX installs anymore. I need to start polishing up on CFX. But anyway, there is that crystal. Just an awesome, awesome looking, unique crystal. Okay. Let's come down to the bottom. So there's that very, very unique Noah Drew marble. So here is this etch. Let me see if I can get this on the camera here. I mean, this is just beautiful work. There is that dove. Phenomenal work. Even in these holes, these crevasses, just the edge of this battery cover, board cover, there is powder coating and enameling. Cool crystal there with that helix pattern. Really, really interesting. So much detail in this etch. Oops.
Sound bank selection.
Ben Kenobi? The radio demon. Manipulating you was the easy part.
So I'm still touching up on how to change fonts,
Sound bank selection.
how to change
The
color.
radio.
I'm very, very
Sound bank selection.
unpracticed
Ben Kenobi?
when it comes to CFX.
Hello there.
I really need to touch up on my CFX. Badly. I love that crystal. It looks great in there. Right? So, let's put a blade in it. Okay, 1-inch blade. Hopefully I know what I'm doing here, so I don't need to tell myself where the set screw is. Let's turn the lights off. You know, here's that crystal. God, that looks so good, that crystal. Oops. You know, something that I have always noticed, though, about CFX, and this just might be me, the blade animation with CFX just seems smoother to me. I don't know if it's a trick of my eye or what.
Sound bank selection.
It just looks, when the blade extends and retracts, it just looks smoother to me for some reason. It always has to me.
Sound bank selection.
This party's over.
I keep thinking this twist to activate.
Sound bank selection.
Zion. Whatever happened, you can't change the past.
selection.
I suggest you try it again.
With the blast shield down, I can't even see. How am I supposed to...
Crystal. So I keep showing that thing off. It looks so good in there. Right. So that is it. Custom Subversion, etched by Carl at Vaults of Valhalla, with a custom glass, I don't even know what you would call that, a custom glass piece blown by Noah Drew. This thing is, to me, it's a work of art. This will remain a permanent part of my collection. I mean, I'm just blown away by all of the artistry that went into this. Just an awesome, awesome piece. So, thank you all for humoring me and letting me talk about another one of my hilts. A lot of people were asking about that crystal. I wanted to show it in action. So thank you for watching, everyone. If anyone has any questions about this particular hilt, I cannot recommend both of these, all three of these artists and companies enough. Ignition Sabers is great. They put out a great product. Carl from Vaults of Valhalla is a true artist. Noah Drew does some great stuff as well. Not only stuff for lightsabers. I mean, he is a glass blower. He does a lot of cool stuff. So anyhow, thank you for watching, everyone. If anyone has any questions, please do not be a stranger. And with that being said, may the force be with you always. Have a good one, everybody.